Getting into real estate 2 years ago was largely a decision after having some friends that were doing really good in the industry. And I had been building businesses for close to a decade in the online marketing, sales-driven space. And what I learned really quickly is there's a couple different kinds of business. There's businesses that are high in cash flow upfront, which is largely sales-based businesses. And then there's businesses more like the ones that I was doing, where you're trying to build a company that you can sell in a 5 to 10 year period, and you're hoping that one day you're going to have a big exit. What happened is I had a bunch of friends doing really well in real estate, making, $1 million a year selling houses. And I thought, I think I can do that. And the certainty level of being able to go out and get into that industry and do really well in it was greater than the certainty that I'll be able to sell something for $5-10 million in 5-10 years. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you describe that road path for us?
So the road to get to where I am today in real estate is I had owned an online drum lesson platform. Okay, so I used to be a professional touring drummer, and I would go out and travel and tour as a musician. I traveled to Vancouver several times and was touring, playing on albums. And I met a mentor who at the time said, "Hey, Jake, listen, touring, really hard, really tiring. Being a musician, really difficult way to make a living." And he had his own band. So he was like the CEO of being a musician, and I was like the employee of being a musician. I was traveling and touring for other artists. And I came up with this idea of essentially developing like a Netflix for drummers. So we brought in Drake's drummer, we brought in Ariana Grande's drummer, Stevie Wonder's drummer. I got to meet and hang out with Stevie Wonder and all these incredible musicians. And we built a Netflix style subscription where it's like, pay $20 a month, have access to all these drum lessons. That was my foray into entrepreneurship. And as soon as I started that business, there were several other businesses that followed. I was chasing the shiny object, which I'm sure we'll talk about as well, trying different models. And a lot of it, though, came back to marketing and sales. And here in real estate, so much of it is about being really good at marketing and sales. So that's a little bit of the journey that led me to real estate.
Do you remember the day when you decided, okay, this is it, now I am officially transitioning to becoming a real estate agent and leaving and shutting all these doors behind me?
Absolutely. I had actually
happened.
Yeah, so it's funny. I would love to say that it was a moment, but before that actual moment that I had, that was a phone call with a friend who told me he was picking up $250,000 worth of commission checks. And I went, oh my goodness, I think I'm in the wrong business. Prior to that moment, I had been actually 5 years earlier getting my license as a real estate agent and then pressing pause on it. And it took me a full 5 years to come back to getting fully licensed. After I spoke with a friend who's like, in the last month, I've generated this much business. And I thought, yeah, I'm in the wrong industry.
Oh, wow. $250,000 in commission. That's, for many people, it's a 3-year salary.
Sure. And it can seem like a life-changing amount of money. And everything that I'll talk about today is also with the caveat that real estate is extremely competitive. It's very hard work. You have to be really excellent at a couple core skills like sales, marketing, understanding business operations, because a lot of realtors get those big checks and they've already spent them by the time they get them. They've got tons of other costs that they're trying to keep up with. So it's not all roses, that I've since learned, but it's definitely a business where it can be very high margin. So